Hello, it's your Jason Arethuster Joey, and today we're gonna take a good old gander at something that has existed in my childhood. This is Level Maker, a free-to-play Super Mario Maker lookalike clone, but it's made for mobile. This is one of those games where it feels like it's just a cheap copy or a cash grab ripoff of a more popular Nintendo IP, but this game actually has some original properties to it, and it even has its own fandom, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, I'm just gonna blabber on about the history of Level Maker, my experiences with the game, and all else I can think of on the top of my head. The background gameplay you'll see is just me playing various levels people made, and the iconic challenge levels, which I guess is the campaign of Level Maker, if it had one. After my jabber session about personal stuff, I'll explain the actual, deeper history of Level Maker. There's actually a pretty detailed level user called Skillaway posted that tells the history of the game, and after that, I'll show you how you can make your own levels, and maybe even some tips and tricks for all you new players out there. But before we get into any of that, I would like to give a very brief skimmed version of the history of Level Maker. So, sometime in the late 2010s, a guy called Voron Creel saw that there were a lot of kids who played video games that were a lot like Mario, but you had to pay to play them. So Voron decided he wanted to make a game that is very accessible to anyone, and that it would be free, so his sons can enjoy playing it. I wonder where I've seen that before. Whether if Level Maker was made to be a copy of Super Mario to gain attention is unclear. Well, unclear for me at least. I'll research more about that sometime after this video is uploaded. But anyways, on to my completely unscripted yap sesh. Alright, so before we kick it off, right before we start talking about anything though, I do just want to say that a lot of the gameplay you're gonna be seeing are like specific levels or anything like that are most likely not gonna be at all what I'm talking about. It's just for, you know, background ambience, I guess, while you just hear me, like, yap. Alright, so here we go. I had a mixed relationship with this game. My dad got it for me, actually, like, on one of my crappy Android tablets, like, when it was, like, 2018, 2019, something like that, around that era. It was around the time I was, like, playing Geometry Dash World, the light version of it, and, Dan TDM and Stampy were still making videos, but it was much later into their... It was much after their heyday, but they were still uploading consistently and all that. What else was in my childhood at that time? Yeah, all in all, this was the time of my life when I was, like, just, like, playing those, like, games, like, people always, like, stereotype for being, like, autism games or whatever, you get what I'm trying to say, like, Geometry Dash and all that. Like, very middle school weird kid stuff is what I was interested in at the time, which I would say Level Maker counts as that. Oh yeah, I remembered the other thing I was gonna mention. There was I may or may not make a separate video on this entirely, but you know Pixel Gun 3D, of course, right? Who doesn't? Well, there is this one, like, I guess somewhat rip-off game, like, partially based on Pixel Gun 3D, but has the same, like, basic stuff where it's, like, Minecraft, but with guns kind of thing. But it takes a more, like, slightly more realistic approach, kind of, with, like, the way the textures look and stuff like that. I think it was based more on cops versus robbers than anything else, but, it was called, Block Force. I was really playing that game during, like, the times I discovered what Level Maker was in its earlier stages. Alright, so Level Maker. I don't really remember that many specific parts about playing it, because it's pretty much the same thing every time you go on it. What I would usually do as a kid is check what the most recent levels are, just play those for about half an hour, and then just watch YouTube videos for the rest of the day. I would also make my own levels, but they were pretty lackluster and pretty, like, noob-like. This was, like, before I even knew you could, like, change your skin and stuff like that. I don't know... I have no way of knowing what era, this was, because, like, This was like before I knew the concept of what eras and Level Maker were. I do plan to make like a iceberg video of Level Maker pretty soon, sometime after this video. So I'll explain what eras are in that video and all the hoopla. Level Maker in the current state it's in on a community scale is kind of interesting. It's like, so you know how you have like very niche internet fandoms that the general public generally doesn't really know about, right? Because it's that like small. But like in the indie world, everyone knows what those are. Those are the biggest like things ever. You know, like FNAF, Deltarune, Undertale, Digital Circus, stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's very popular in the indie scene, but basically unknown or relatively unknown to like generic people who aren't chronically online or whatever. I see Level Maker as that again, but if the average like indie popularity internet side was representing as actual like in real life popularity stuff. Like, I see Level Maker as the next farther down than what, like, other internet fandoms there are. Like, it's like so small, it's like a community neighborhood kind of thing. It's not like a small unknown town. It's like a tiny neighborhood, kind of. Like, everyone knows each other. Yeah, pretty much just that. I remember, having a couple past YouTube channels, and, I think one of them I showed a lot of, like, Level Maker gameplay on. It was just kinda average. It was me basically playing a bunch of levels. I think it was, like, 2019 or something like that. And, real quick, I wanna show you the most epically cringe video I have ever created. So, yeah, let's react to that.
Hey guys, this is my first animation, yay! Anyways, today we will talk about players on Level Maker. So the first player I want to talk about is Twisted Fusion. He's pretty sick and dope, and yeah, next is Skill. Yeah, Skill is next. Also, he's a cool and dope dude. I say me and the other players are very close. Very, very close. Anyways, let's move on to Shadow. He is an average player. He's at, about, let's just say, how do I say this? My rank. Yeah, about there. Oh, and now let's talk about the Seaman. I haven't seen much of him, but he claims he can floss way faster than me. Wow. We'll do part 2 very soon, but bon voyage. Bye-bye.
And he claims he can floss way faster than me.
So, yeah, this was like during the times on Level Maker when, LMA and GMA existed. That skill, who I mentioned in the video, is not, Skill Away. That was, another skill that I knew, way before him. I only just met Skill Away, like, when I started getting back into Level Maker, like, a week ago. It's my current hyperfixation right now, if you couldn't already tell. Just look at my freaking, like... Just look at almost every single video I made after I got 800 subscribers. I guess I was kind of blind to it because I didn't really, like, notice it or whatever for some reason, but apparently that other skill was always seen as kind of edgy, but, like, in a cringe way, I guess. Like, he not edgy in, like, a cool way, just, like, actually, like, I'm gonna kill everyone kind of thing. Like, an out-of-pocket kind of edgy is the best way to describe him. Anyways, this was, like, an era where I knew, like, that skill in particular, then there was a Twisted Fusion. I think Twisted Fusion was actually a pretty popular, like, player back in the day. Seaman, he's just some like kid who had a YouTube channel or something like that. He's kind of, I don't want to compare him to anything, but I think he's kind of like yesterday's version of Silhouette Frankie, if you know who I'm talking about. And I completely forgot who Shadow was, so yeah. There was this one time, I want to say it was like during the middle of the pandemic, and I had no idea how Discord worked, but I wanted to start learning how to use it because I wanted to be cool. I just wanted to be a cool kid, you know what I mean? Whatever. So I found some, like, very, very, very tiny level maker, like, Discord server, and it was barely, like, a full-on Discord server that was functioning at all. It was more like just, like, a group chat more than anything else of, like, 3 other people at most kind of thing. There was that other skill, the edgy skill, and, he had, like, a pixel art of a duck, from his profile picture, and he would, like, always play the up the fucking ass, like, cover for some reason. That was kind of weird. And he'll always, like, shout at everyone and then call everyone a dumbass when they're not doing something right, kind of thing. I think he mostly acts like that, or acted like that. I'm not sure if he still does. I don't really have any way of contacting him or anything like that, but I think the reason why he acts like that is because, he was like older than most of the level maker players at the time. I was like 12, maybe 13 then, and he was like 15 on going 16. Oh yeah, and since I only just got Discord, I had no idea how to, like, turn off light mode. I didn't like light mode, but I didn't know how to turn it off. It was just naturally light mode for me. But yeah, every time I would, like, try and, like, ask for, like, help on how to do something, he'd just call me, like, a dumbass or whatever kind of thing. What else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, groups. So Level Maker. You may notice when you're playing, especially on the Recents tab, like, not daily recent, but, like, recents list, the place that most little kids go to everywhere else. Well, over than everywhere else. There's these things called groups, and, there are these things where, like, you put an emoji in your name, and, that's, like, the symbol of the group you're in. Some of them are satire, some of them are serious kind of thing. What they are is pretty much what you're probably thinking of. What they are, they're, like, different affiliations that do different things, or believe in different things, kinda. LMA and GMA were 2 of them. There was LMA stood for Level Maker Alliance. That was more of a Twisted Fusion oriented thing, and GMA was a skill oriented thing. I'm just gonna call the edgy skill, like, just skill, and if I ever mention, like, skill away, I'll just say skill away, so that way you guys don't get confused. So, skill created GMA, Twisted Fusion, like, made LMA, then disbanded it. And then afterwards, I didn't want to die, so I was like, hey guys, where's your liberal spirit? Come on, LMA, LMA, LMA. And I would just, like, make a bunch of, like, post levels or message levels saying that, we gotta bring LMA back, oh my god. And, I only really remember one significant, like, event where, like, there was, like, a group war kind of thing. And it was the war with, was it the Frog group or the Toad group? I think it's Toad, the Toad group. Yeah, that's right. Okay. It may have been just roleplay, and I thought it was serious, or it was actually legitimately serious, and the kid who was called Toad in Level Maker just had some mental issues. So, the Toad group, I remember, was, like, very representative of authoritarian kind of related stuff to some degree, and GMA and LMA, which believed in absolute freedom, were trying to, like, shut like Toad down and stuff like that, which I guess wasn't the best method to like persuade a bad person to stop being bad, but we were little kids, we didn't know what the hell we were doing, we don't know how politics work. Also around that time, I kept hearing of from everyone, but I haven't seen this player myself, of a player called Bingo Bingo. And, his avatar was, like, the default, like, gorilla skin, the brown gorilla. And, he would infamously make a bunch of like cringe levels. Like they were like short message levels, and they were usually had like the character sprites of like randos who like averagely played LM, and he would like put them in like a little fire cage or something like that, making it look like their like in-game character was being burnt to death or something like that, as like a bad attempt to offend them when it really just looked cringe, if you get what I'm trying to say. It was also not uncommon for Bingo Bingo to make a bunch of penis length jokes as well as girth size. But hey, this is what the average mind of a kid goes through when they're on the internet. But hey, there's really no other way you can really evolve to become an adult. You know what I mean? I believe it is a requirement for like a kid to like experience like something very cringe they'll do, and then they'll reflect on it later, and that is how they mature to become a better person when they become an adult. Yeah, some kids we were back then. There's a whole new generation repeat of what I lived through going on right now, and now me and the older bros are like watching over it, like reflecting of what we've done in the past. We're like watching these little kids get into like little online fights, calling each other fat and saying slurs online, and we're just staring at them like, were we really like that? I'm actually genuinely concerned for our mental health. Level Maker as a community is pretty small for an indie fandom. It's more of a community, less of a fandom actually, but I'd say it's a fandom. It's probably one of the smallest fandoms you'll ever see. It's like small enough where you can get fairly popular on it if you literally just make one YouTube video about it. Like, it'll get views. I stole Skill's series idea. So, Skill Flame, not Skillway, but Skill, the edgy one, he was thinking about making a series, or has made a series, about his character, and how he got the name Skill, which in the fire language translates to a bad flame, which is what his father, Deathflaw, named him. He named him Skill because he's a bad flame, because I don't know, dad abused kids. So he sends Skill off of the planet Folar, which is the home planet of flame critters, and he sends him off of Folar in an escape pod, and Skill crash lands in a country on Irith called Ironland. Irith may sound pretty familiar to you if you've been on the channel for a while. Irith is the name of the Earth-like planet in The Lives of Destiny, now called Damsels in Distress. If you want more information about that, just comment if you're curious, and I'll send you the video links to everything about it. So, in Skills, so I took inspiration from the name Irith to input in my own thing, but Irith is the name of the Earth-like planet in Skills series. I think he did make the series, but here's the thing. The day he said he was gonna take a break from Level Maker for a bit, I saw an opportunity. Okay? I thought I could get more likes and get more popular, so you know what I freaking did? I stole his series idea, and I basically recreated his entire, character story from the ground up in my own series based on him. I, stole, Skill's character, I stole Deathflaw's character, and even, remastered or, one-upped what he used to look like. I even included, Skill and Deathflaw as an Easter egg on Folar in, Miku vs. Everything, spoilers. And to this day, I haven't credited him back! How much bigger of a middle finger can you get? Huh? I made the series on a now deleted old account. Well, I don't think the account is deleted or anything. It's just the device I had my Level Maker app was destroyed, but the account still existed in the app servers. So you could still play it, but I completely forgot my account ID. You could probably trace it back if you looked in my YouTube channel, my older YouTube channel, the one I made right before this one, it's called in all caps Joey Gamer Guy. And that was my previous YouTube channel, where I upload mostly just level maker stuff. While sitting in the toilet, taking a shit in the bathroom! This is a complete side note real quick, but like during, like, that time in my life in like 2019, or like 2019, that was it was a nostalgic time in my life, but while also being the most different out of every single year ever, because it was like it was like the most middle school, like, vibey year I ever had. I had a lot of missed opportunities in middle school. I really acted out like a really bad kid in middle school. I lashed out at every single kid or whatever else. I would, like, try to start fights, but a fight would never happen, kind of thing. My point is that, I remember, like, being pretty obsessed with Cartoon Network in this time. This was, like, after I primarily, like, was watching Nickelodeon, which is, like, a few years ago before then. But, like, in 2019, I was primarily just watching Cartoon Network. I never really watched Adult Swim. It's not really my taste, but, like, even now it's not my... Even though I was never, of course, allowed to watch Adult Swim as a kid, I still don't watch it now, because a lot of the shows on there don't have my taste. I tried Dragon Ball, but, like, it's, not for me. I mean, anime's maybe cool, but I haven't really watched it yet. I haven't really watched anime that much yet. What was my point? Oh yeah, that's right, Steven Universe. So, Steven Universe was closing up, I think. The movie came out, and I think that was like a sing-along version of it that was coming out soon. I saw a lot of teasers, and I understood, like, the hype for, like, the Steven Universe movie, the one with, like, Spinell in it. I wanted to see it. Hold on. Sorry, I just got a bit of, water, stuck in my throat. Whatever. So Steven Universe was all the hype right now, and a part of me wanted to watch it, even though the other half of me said, ew, this is cringe, this is gay, kind of thing. This is before I really, like, respected, like, homosexuals or whatever. I mean, it's kind of funny, because, like, I'm basically homosexual, and I'm also genderless. Oh my god, what the hell am I saying? So yeah, it was like one of those things where I appreciated the aesthetic of Steven Universe in a small way deep down on the inside, but on the outside I just thought it was straight up cringe. But now, like, this year, I'm really opening up to, stuff like Steven Universe and a lot of those, like, artistic, kind of animated shows and stuff like that. I'm really watching a lot of them now. I think the first one, those, like, actual kind of, like, stylized, like, modern animated shows I watched was, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, and it's actually really good. I highly recommend that. Probably one of the best, like, animated shows out there, that I've seen. But my point is when I was, like, watching those, like, little ad bumpers for, like, Steven Universe's movie, and how it had that one, like, da-da-da song in it, I forgot what the lyrics are or whatever, it made me feel something. I'm not sure what it was, but it made me feel this unique kind of, like, tone. It's hard to describe what it felt like, but you probably wouldn't feel exactly how it felt anyway, because everyone's different, you know? Like, the way I perceive something may be, like, different to you. I think a lot of it, came from a little tiny fraction, a bit of FOMO I felt for it. Like, I felt like I was missing out on something really epic, but at the same time, I thought I was, like, being blessed by not, like, having to watch any cringe shit, you know what I mean? It was like a weird mixed bag of, like, both good and bad feelings for it, but mostly good. It had, like, Steven Universe, it has this, like, unique aesthetic, and that ad bumper specifically, where it had that song in it, it felt like, had a feeling, you know? If he got offended from me, like, calling Steven Universe cringe shit, I mean, I can understand that, but, like, I'm open to stuff right now. That's just how I thought of it before. I think Steven Universe might be kind of cool now. I only, like, watched, like, halfway through season 1 right now, and it's pretty decent. I heard some episodes get kind of sloppy in the middle or whatever, so I'll watch out for those, but, yeah. Overall, I think, like, Steven Universe is cringe as hell, but it is cool. It's a cool kind of cringe. That's the stuff I really dig for. I love cringe shit. I think part of what made me feel that way, like, the fear of missing out part, is that I just never watched it, you know? I mean, I saw clips in the movie and I got spoiled by it quite a bit, but I never actually sat down and took my time to watch the full thing. I would always see, like, a bunch of, like, peak episodes, is what you call it, play on the TV occasionally, and I look at it, and I feel like I'm missing out on some context from earlier episodes, but I just wouldn't have the time to watch it, you know what I mean? Like, back when I used to watch cable, oh god, that's old, I would see, like, these, like, very special episodes of Steven Universe, or even of any show ever, on rare occasions, and it would give me this, like, new blast of new waves of, like, new feelings and everything, and it would feel like, I missed out on something. It made me feel like I missed out on quite a few episodes that should have been, that I should have been there for, but I just wasn't, and I was too late to, like, see the marathon of whatever show was playing. Alright, with that out of the way, let's go back to Level Maker. So let's talk about, what's going on right now. So, right now, how did I get back into Level Maker? I think I just had the app for a while and I realized I haven't, like, used it that much. So I went in and played one day, I was like, you know what? I'll play this in my free time. Nice, simple, indie, pixelated game? Why not? What better else is there to do? Watch YouTube and watch, like, AI debates or whatever? No, that's not for me. I'm gonna make my own levels, thank you very much. And it didn't take long for me to find, out there was a Discord server, owned by a player called Skillaway. Not to be mistaken for the cringe skill. So, now I'm in that. My current rank is in the 10s, I think. I think I'm about to get a level 15 soon. And it's a pretty chill place. It feels like it's like a little sanctuary for, like, enjoyers of Level Maker who like unironically actually, like, really like it, you know what I mean? Such as myself. And there's this whole thing in it too called the Miku Pact, where we got, like, made pixel arts of Miku and all that. I'll go in more heavy detail about all of that in the next, like, major Level Maker video I'll make, which is an iceberg video. So, well, don't expect it to be too much high quality, because, I only make videos on my phone, and if you've been on my channel for a while, you know the, kind of content and the kind of, quality to expect. It's not great, but it's survivable. And, what's pretty special about it, too, is that it's, pretty much, like, the entire server is second in command of Level Maker, with, like, first in command being, like, the actual developer. It's like a lot of the people, who are in that server, like, know Voron, the actual creator of the game, and they suggest stuff to him in the suggestions channel, and this and that. It's pretty cool. I almost knocked over my drink. But, Voron is not in the Discord server. I'm not sure if he even uses Discord, but, the owner would be Skillaway. Skillaway is in charge of that server, and, he knows Voron most. He's really the only one who actually does sometimes talk to him, with everyone else just, like, being a very rare occasion to one-on-one talk to him. So, like, when we suggest stuff, the ideas don't, like, go to them. A lot of them are jokes, a lot of them aren't. A lot of them just stay in the suggestions channel and don't get past that. Yeah. I believe it's a server about integrity and, determination, to support Level Maker in the best ways possible. It's pretty much just, like, the biggest, like, known, like, support group for Level Maker. We're the ones who, really appreciate this game to the fullest, and we really want to see, like, the best possible outcomes, for Level Maker. So yeah, right now I feel like I'm more active on Level Maker than, ever before, to be honest. Like, I've just been, like, pretty much, like, grinding Level Maker. I've been, like, working on this, like, massive, like, map, for like the Era 30 celebration, and it's like a sorry about that. I'll cut that part. Project where it's like about. Good morning, ladies and gents. My name, as you all know, is Bird Westwing, and if you look outside your canopy windows, you'll see it is a bright blue sunny day outside. Yes, sirree, it is a wonderful day outside without a cloud in the sight. Because, of course, all the clouds tread underneath our might of determination to keep us standing. On other terms, we have some breaking news. The crew bandits have just been spotted hijacking one of our older vessels and have blasted to hyperdynamic drive right out of the hangar bay, which caused a lot of kickback in the hangar with all the crates and guards being sent flying from the big old sudden gust of engine wind. According to live reports coming through the feed at this very moment, we're being told they have been taking the East Asian route and could potentially make it all the way across the Pacific before they would inevitably have to land in either the Americas or even Hawaii if their fuel runs out. 2 interceptors have tracked the stolen skyship, and while one makes the first attack right over the Pacific Ocean, the other will trail closely behind and wait for the right time to strike only if something goes wrong. Goes very, very wrong. This has been Brett Westwing, and now we'll switch you back from your wonderfully scheduled program. Have a great day. Always remember to keep on smiling.